Hi my loves, happy Friday. I hope you all are doing incredible. Today I am back with a very chill video. It's just going to be a Q&A. A couple of weeks ago I asked you guys over on Instagram to ask me any questions that you guys had, and I've narrowed these down to like 10 questions. Some of these questions were kind of like the same question, so I just kind of narrowed everything down, and that is what today's video is about. I feel like the last time that I did a Q&A was in January, and I just feel like there's so many new faces around here. There's just so many new people, and especially over on Instagram, like I've just grown over there like dramatically, so which is such a blessing. I truly appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, that's why I wanted to just kind of do a Q&A so that you guys can get to know me, and just, I don't know, we can just kind of go from there. So that is what today's video will be about. If you guys are new to my channel, hi, hello, my name is Brittany, and I love to make videos about fashion, beauty, style, all of that fun stuff. If you guys aren't already following me, make sure that you guys follow me over on my other social media platforms as well. So Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, make sure that you guys follow me over there. If you guys do like these kinds of videos, please feel free to give this video a like and a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe. I feel like I want to kind of do a Q&A every 6 months. I feel like that's a good sweet spot to do like a Q&A, because things literally could change within 6 months. I mean, things can change within 6 weeks, honestly, but really within 6 months. And you know, with this Q&A, you guys will literally see that like in January I had a full-time job and was doing this, and then now I'm just doing this exclusively. So yeah, things can certainly change. So yeah, I might end up doing a Q&A every 6 months. So I don't know, we'll see. So I'm not going to try to make this video too long, because I know sometimes Q&As can be a little lengthy. So yeah, so with that being said, we'll go ahead and get right into the video. So the very first question is, can you tell us how you got started? So this was kind of like a really common question, like how did you start? Where did you start from? Did you start with a blog first? Were you starting on YouTube? Like that was kind of like a common theme. So I actually started a blog in 2016. It was called Theworkingbritt. It's still called that. It's just I kind of have it down for right now because I'm kind of revamping some things, and I'm not ready to like go back to relaunching it just yet. It will be relaunched, but I'm just kind of taking my time because I've been so unbelievably busy over the past 12 months just with things, just with life. But yes, I started with my blog first, and it was just a great outlet for me to write down my thoughts, to talk about what I was wearing, to just talk really. And that's the beautiful thing about a blog is that you own it, it's yours, you can talk about whatever, you can showcase whatever you like, and it's like your baby. So I started with that, and then after I started my blog, I started my YouTube channel. I would upload videos about fashion, literally what I do now, so fashion and beauty. I was way more beauty focused back then because I truly thought that I wanted to be a beauty blogger. I just was like, I love makeup, and I still do love makeup and beauty products and all that kind of stuff. Like I still love that stuff. I was super heavy into creating like makeup videos and makeup tutorials and reviewing things, and then I started doing more fashion focused videos, and I will always love fashion. I've always loved fashion, and so I started doing more style videos and fashion focused videos, and yeah, I mean, started that. And then on Instagram, I really started taking Instagram super serious around the, I'd say 2016, 2017 time frame is when I started taking Instagram pretty serious. I would take photos outside, and I just started uploading them. And really, it wasn't until 2020 when everything started really popping off. Like 2020 is when I noticed that my Instagram truly started popping off, because we were in a pandemic, and so I started shifting my content, and instead of taking photos outside, I started taking mirror selfies. And I don't know, people just really love those mirror selfies, and it just kind of skyrocketed from there. So that's really how I started. I mean, again, I've always had a passion for beauty and style and fashion stuff. It started in 2016, and I just kept being consistent with it. And during 2020, I didn't upload YouTube videos in 2020. I think I stopped like March. I want to say I uploaded like maybe 3 videos in 2020, and I completely stopped uploading in March of 2020, and I didn't upload another YouTube video until 2021 until last year, and that was because I really wanted to dedicate my time and my energy into focusing on Instagram, because I saw that my Instagram page was really thriving and really just getting some traction, and I started getting in some like brand deals and stuff. And anyone who is a content creator knows that like it's really hard to juggle multiple platforms. Like you have to truly be consistent with it, and it takes a lot of time. And at that time, I just didn't have that time and that energy to focus into or to pour into YouTube. That's why I started just focusing on Instagram. And then once I felt like that was really good, then I started truly focusing on YouTube. And then here we are now. So yeah, just found a really good balance. And yeah, so long story short, that is how I got started. Someone asked, business advice, how do you network online? That is a really good question, and I don't know if I am the right person to answer that. I feel like I'm not that great at networking online. As far as like me reaching out to others to network, I feel like people that I talk to online, it's because I'm either a follower of them or like I'm a fan of them, and it just like, we just naturally connect. So whether that's a brand or another content creator, I just really like their energy, and so that's just how I feel like we naturally connect, and then we just kind of network from there. But I don't know, I've just never really been somebody, as silly as it sounds, somebody that like, I've never gone to like a networking event or signed up for a class, like an Instagram class or a social media course or class to network with other people. And I know people love doing that kind of stuff because you can truly network with people, but for me, if I just like your aesthetic and I just like your vibe and I like the content and the message and stuff and everything that you're putting out online, I'm gonna comment, I'm gonna share, I'm gonna repost, I'm gonna talk about it, I'm gonna do all of those things, and hopefully, you know, that love and stuff gets reciprocated, and I don't know, we just naturally form a bond like that. So I would genuinely say, you know, find the people or find the brands that you naturally align with, that you love, and then just kind of go from there. You know, reach out to them, comment, post, like, reshare, talk about them, and just kind of see where it goes. Like, I feel like those are the best relationships that you can have. The next question is advice for growing my YouTube and social media. My followers don't engage, like, or anything. When I saw that, I just be feeling so bad for people that, you know, that feel that way, because I promise you, sis, like, people are watching. It may not be a ton of people who watch just yet, but people are definitely watching. I would honestly say don't focus so heavily on trying to grow on YouTube or trying to grow your other social media platforms. Focus on your content, focus on your core audience that you have right now. Reply back to the people who are already commenting on you, and you know, respond back to them. Engage with the people who are already engaging with you now. You know, sometimes we get so caught up on this like numbers game, and it's like, I want to grow, I want to grow, I want to grow, I want to grow. And I do understand that growth is a measurement of success. Like, I completely understand that. But at the same time, you can be successful with smaller people, like with a smaller audience. It doesn't always mean you have to have tens of thousands of people on your social media platforms, or you have to have 100,000 likes on a post for you to have good quality content. Like, let your content and your message speak for itself. If anything, I feel like I can be a true testament to that. Like, my YouTube channel, I've had my YouTube page, like I said, since 2016, and I'm only at 5,100 followers, and it's okay. Like, I still will continue to upload videos week after week, month after month, because this is what I naturally love, whether it gets traction or it doesn't. Some of my videos, you know, get over 1,000 views. Some of them get 4,000. Some of them get 10,000. Some of them get 400 views. Like, at the end of the day, for me, it's not about the numbers. It's all about like the quality content and just doing what I love. Same thing with my Instagram page. Me leaving my full-time job 2 weeks ago and having 20,000 followers on Instagram kind of seems really low for most people. Like, I don't really know a lot of people who would have left their full-time job with only 20K on Instagram. But for me, it wasn't about like the numbers at all. It was about the fact that I had worked so hard and created content that I genuinely love, and content that truly resonated either with my audience or with brands or with both, that I was able to generate an income where I just didn't need to have my full-time job anymore. And it wasn't You know, it wasn't a thing like when I get to 100,000 followers, that's when I'll quit my job, or I'll feel successful when I get to 50,000 followers. No, like success is whatever you make it. So don't get so caught up on the numbers. You have to create content that you are truly passionate about. And I promise you this, people can sense out when you like something versus when you feel like you're forced to do something. They can read that through the camera. They can feel that energy. They know when you genuinely love something versus if you're just trying to do something because it's trendy, or you're just trying to do something because you saw somebody else grow from doing that exact same thing. Like, do what makes you happy, do what works for you, and like I said, engage with the people that you have right now. At the end of the day, I would say focus on your content, focus on your current audience that's in front of you, focus on your content. Your content will always be king. Your content will always outweigh numbers, like always. I tell people this all the time. Like back in 2020, I landed a Abercrombie campaign with, I think I had maybe 3,000 followers on Instagram, and Abercrombie had reached out to me based off of the content and the quality content that I was producing on Instagram. So again, you never know who's watching. You don't need a huge audience. And like I said in one of my last Q&As, the one back in January, you would be surprised how many people from these brands and how many people are actually like watching you and really thoroughly like you, and will pass your name to somebody else, to somebody else, to somebody else, and you know, growth can start from there. So I know it's a long-winded answer, but focus on your content, focus on your creativity, and you know, engage with your audience that you have now. Another question that someone asked is, would you be doing bridal outfits? I need ideas. I obviously won't be in like a wedding gown or anything like that, but I can put together like a bachelorette, bridal shower, vacation, honeymoon type of video. So I can certainly do that. I have so many really cute like white pieces, and some of the pieces that I've been getting in lately, I'm like, ooh, this would be so cute for somebody who's getting married, and this would be so cute for somebody who's like engaged and who's about to go on vacation, a destination wedding. So I can certainly try to do that for sure. Congratulations, by the way, to the person that asked this question. Congratulations on your marriage. I love that for you, sis. The next question is not really a question. It's just somebody said, love your style. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. You guys truly are gems. I mean, I say that all the time. Y'all are such gems. And you know what? I also feel like I have one of the most patient followers ever. Like, even when I am a little slow to respond back, or I'm like too busy, or I might skip a week on here, I feel like you guys are just so patient and so gracious, and I truly appreciate you guys so much. Y'all are just, honestly, y'all are gems. I don't have no drama. Y'all know, like, there's some people out there that have like, there's so much drama within their followers, and I'm like, y'all have no drama. We have just good energy around here, and yeah, I truly appreciate you guys. So love y'all so much. Next question is how to start a business besides just start. I feel stuck. So sis, I'm gonna say it, but you have to really just start. When people say if you want to start a business, you have to start, that's literally what you have to do. You actually have to just take the first step to start. I'm gonna assume that you're talking about being a content creator or YouTuber. So the very first step would just be to post. I mean, post on whatever platform you are on. Don't be afraid to post consistently. Just keep posting, whether it's reels, whether it's videos, whether it's obviously photos, you know, whatever platform you're on, you have to just start. I know so many people who are like, I want to be an influencer, or I want to be a content creator, or I want to do what you do, and I'm like, do it. And it sounds so like vague, but honestly, this world right here is so new. This is truly a brand new industry. This wasn't a thing years ago, and now people can literally sign up for classes and take courses and actually study social media and study, you know, this new realm of marketing. There is no barrier of entry to becoming a content creator or a blogger or being in the social media world. You actually just have to start. You have to turn on the camera, you have to post, you have to upload, you have to write your caption. Like, you have to just do it. Everybody has to start from somewhere. Every single person that you follow, every single person that may inspire you, we all had to start from somewhere. We just did it. I will never forget one day I was like, I'm gonna start a blog. And so I researched, I went online, I was like, what web hosting platform can I use to start my blog? Oh, perfect, I'll use this one. Oh wow, okay, now I have to like put it together and build it. Okay, let me take some time to build it. And it just kept going from there. But like, every little step is still a step. It doesn't matter, it's still a step. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't worry about the naysayers. If you have a passion for something, if there's something that you really want to do, just do it. Because again, everybody who's ever built or created anything, we all had to start from step one, and step one is starting it. Next question is, what steps did you take to do content creation full time, and are you happy doing it? Kind of piggybacks off of the first question, like how I started. So I started back in 2016, and then it really started taking off 4 years later. You know, like it really started taking off in 2020, and I was just consistent with it, and yeah, and now we're here. Do I love it? Absolutely. I have always been like a creative person. I've always wanted to be somebody who's my own boss. Like, ask any of my family or friends that I grew up with. I have always had an entrepreneur spirit. I've never wanted to be somebody who worked for somebody else forever. Like, that's just not me. And I will say this, there is nothing wrong with that. Like, I feel like over the past 5 years, entrepreneurship has become so glamorized that people forget that like the shit is hard and it doesn't happen overnight. You don't start making this kind of income right away unless you're very, very lucky. But yeah, those were, I guess that's kind of the step. I just started creating content, and I saw what was working in 2020. I was saying in the very first question, we were in a pandemic. Literally no one was going outside, but I still loved fashion and clothing and stuff. And so I just started snapping mirror photos because I'm like, well, we're inside. I might as well just try to keep myself and keep my mind occupied where we're inside. And that's just really how I started. Once I noticed that I was making a really, really nice income a month consistently from doing this, that's when I decided to take the leap to do this full time. I would not recommend somebody doing this if your income, let's say your income a month is $2,000. In content creation, you're making $2,500. I would not recommend you quitting your job just yet. Now you can take that leap, but I would recommend that you play it smart, get all your ducks in a row. Again, with this field right here, it's inconsistent money, so it's not like, you kind of have a baseline idea of what you're getting every month, and once you kind of have that down, I would say, you know, just weigh out your options. Now, if your full-time job is literally killing you, or if it's making you super depressed, maybe try to get something that's a little bit part-time to offset your content creation full-time. But again, I would play it smart. I personally would make sure that you're making at least 3 to 4 times more a month, just to give you a nice little cushion if God forbid something happens. I'm gonna throw a number out there. Let's just say this month you're getting like $10,000 worth of campaigns, but next month you have nothing lined up. You have no campaigns, you have nothing lined up. At least you still have a nice little cushion to hold you over to September. So those are the steps that I personally took before going full-time. Like, I actually thought about going full-time and quitting my job last March, and thank God I didn't. And again, this is also, I'm also segueing as well, but because the income that I was getting in was such a nice income, like, I thought about quitting my job then. Thank God I didn't, because, you know, that summer life happened, and there were other things and other people that I needed to care for, and that extra income that literally I was getting for my job really helped to offset things. So I came from the corporate world, and to be honest, I thoroughly did I loved my team, I loved my company. It was such a great company to work for, and I was afforded the luxury of working from home, so it made things a little easier. But when I couldn't do it anymore, I just couldn't do it. March, I was like super burnt out, because literally I had so much on my plate for both jobs, for both my content creation job and my full-time job. And you know, I just started weighing out my options around March of this year, and I was like, okay, I think I need to step off the ledge. I think it's about time. I feel like things were really settled. It was just, I could feel that it was starting to come on. And when I got back from Puerto Rico, I just knew. I was like, you know what? I want to travel. I want to create content. I want to do things. It was a good time for me to go. And so when I put my notice in at the beginning of June, I gave my job almost a 1 month notice, just because I wanted to make sure that they had all the tools and guides and everything that I had been working on, so that the next person who came in, or the next 2 people who come in, would be able to, you know, hit the ground running. And I just wanted to make sure I got all my ducks in a row. But yeah, those are the steps that I took to go full time. I just made sure I had all my ducks in a row from a financial standpoint, from a business standpoint. I'm so grateful that I ended up bringing on my management team back in March, because they have been such a huge blessing with just going back and forth with brands, negotiating contracts, getting me brand deals, checking my email, like all the little nitty things that I found myself doing after I had my full-time job. Like when I got off of work, I found myself then having to jump into work and, you know, jumping into editing and filming and shooting and responding, and it was just too much. Yeah, those are the steps that I took, and that's what I would recommend for you guys, for anybody that wants to go full-time. Just make sure you have all your stuff in a row, and yeah, then go from there. Do love it so much. It's still surreal, because I've literally been doing this full-time, just this, since July 2nd. I mean, July 1st, really. It still feels a little surreal that like this is my job. Like I literally created and built my dream job. Like I don't work for anybody else. I don't check in with anybody else. I can set my own schedule. I can do my own thing. I can be as creative as I want. And it's honestly, like, it sounds cliche, but it is the best job to have for me personally in the world. Like, I love this. I love everything about just being a content creator, and yeah, I still love it. Now, there are days where I definitely get burnt out. Like if I'm being honest, the past week and a half, I've just had so much happening and so many things moving and happening and shaking that I felt a little burnt out. I actually talked about this over on my Instagram the other day, but like my days literally have been ending at 1 a.m. just because they've been full days. And so you do have your highs and your lows. Of course, you have some burnout. For the most part, it's wonderful. It's wonderful to create and to build that rapport with you guys and to engage. And yeah, I thoroughly love it. Next question is, how do you gain inspiration to create content? I will say, obviously other content creators, of course. I gain inspiration from that. Sometimes just sitting and listening to music, as silly as it sounds, I feel like I get a lot of inspiration from music. Like I have 2 reels that I'm going to be creating next week that literally came from 2 different songs, and I just feel like the creation of those videos just matches perfectly with those songs. So music for me is definitely a outlet where I feel like I gain a lot of creative inspiration from. Like I'll listen to a song and I'll be like, ooh, I feel like this reel would go really good with this. Also say like Pinterest. Pinterest is, and I know so many people have said this, but Pinterest is such a great outlet and great platform to gain inspo. So if you're looking up 90s aesthetic, or if you're looking up a certain aesthetic, or if you want to look for a certain vibe, just go on Pinterest. It doesn't matter. It could be architecture, it could be like a certain color you're looking at. Pinterest is so good at that. Pinterest literally is the platform of aesthetics. But yeah, I would really say that's it. Pinterest and music. Next question was actually a really good question, and I'm glad that I saved it. It is, how do you determine what gets shared online and what doesn't? Trying to find that balance between posting but not sharing everything. I will say this, I feel like, now this is not me trying to toot my own horn, I feel like I have mastered the art of not sharing everything online but still having an online presence. I will never share everything online. Like I am just somebody who, you know, I'm very transparent with a lot of things that have happened in my life, and you know, whether it's relationships or jobs or whatever, but there are going to be some things that I just don't share. And sometimes it's because I just don't want to, or sometimes it's because like it might involve somebody else, and at the end of the day, it's not my story to tell. It's not my place to tell someone else's story or to put someone else's business out there. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like, again, this goes back to the whole like we glamorize entrepreneurship, that hustle culture like mentality 5 years ago. I feel like this was also during a time where everybody shared everything, every single aspect of their life. You have to share what your kids are eating, what you're wearing, what school they go to, where they're going, where you guys are going, when you're sleeping, what you're eating, what you're drinking, what restaurant you're going to. And while I feel like, you know, it's nice to share bits and pieces, some things you don't have to share everything. Like if you're out with friends, you don't have to pull out a camera and shoot every single thing just because you're a content creator. You can still create beautiful content. Like for instance, if you're on vacation, you can still create beautiful content and still be on vacation. You don't have to shoot everything. Everything doesn't need to be put online. Everything doesn't need to be for social media. And, you know, I would say do things at your discretion. I feel like we are actually going into a era where a lot of influencers and a lot of content creators are actually becoming a lot smarter about what they share. Like, I'm seeing less and less of people's like day-to-day lives and less of their relationship stuff or business stuff. I just think that people have become smarter because, like I said, not everything needs to be shared. And I feel like social media sometimes has gotten such a bad rap because people overshare everything. They go back and forth with each other online or go back and forth with each other on Twitter. You don't need to see every single argument that you are having with your significant other, or we don't need to see every, like, if your child has a mental issue, that doesn't necessarily need to be put online because your child doesn't have a voice to say, hey mom or dad, I don't want a camera shoved in my face. I don't want somebody, you know, I don't want the whole world knowing that I'm your child and here I am. I just got my first cycle. Like, you know, I just feel like not everything just needs to be shared. It's okay to have some things be private. And in fact, privacy is beautiful. Like, there's parts of privacy that I just think are just so beautiful that you don't have to share. It's okay to have intimate moments with friends and family without a camera in their face. It's okay to watch your kid have certain milestones without shoving a camera in their face. It's okay to, you know, go through something that, whether it's good or bad, it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad, without turning on a camera. Like, this device, the device that I'm recording on, like, that's not all there is to this world. There's so much more beautiful things out in the world. There's so much life to live, and it's not always about what you can put online, what you can show online, how much you can show, who you're dating, what your kid is doing, where you're going. Like, it is okay to have some parts of your life that's private. Again, I mean, do what you want to do. Y'all know, like, at the end of the day, do whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's just how I just do it. I just don't prioritize oversharing my life. You know, I want to live, like, I want to actually live life and not have to focus so much on, did I get the right angle? Did I get the right shot? Do I need to take the photo over again? Are they gonna like this? Is my company or my friend or whoever, my family, going to be okay with me putting a camera in their face? I'm going on vacation, but I really have to get a lot of content, and oh, let me make sure I get this angle and this angle. Can you take a photo? Like, I just, I am able to separate personal from business. This is my business. I still make it very personal, but like, this is my business. And yeah. And then the last question, I'm going to leave it off here because I feel like this video was already long, even though I said I didn't want to make it too long, was how did you start working with brands? Do they reach out to you or do you reach out? So when I first started working out with brands, like, the brands would reach out to me. So again, this really started popping off around the 2020 time frame, and one of the first bigger brands that reached out to collaborate was Vici, and then I started creating content for Vici, and then Abercrombie came after that, and then it just kept going after that. But for the most part, the brands are reaching out to me. And I talked about this in my video in January, was that when I say brands, it's not just like the CEO or somebody like that who's reaching out. 10 times out of 10, it might be somebody who is on their social media team, who they have a social media page as well, and they like to follow people, and they probably just like started following you, or a copywriter started following you and passed your name along, or one of their editors started following you and passed your name along, and then it just kind of segued that way. So but yes, usually it's the brands that will reach out to me. They look at my content, they're like, oh, you know, her content looks like it aligns with our content, we like her message, we like her audience, we like the way she edits, whatever the case may be. They'll reach out, and then we'll just kind of go from there. I will say this, since having my management team actually, they do all the outreach now for me, and they'll reach out to the brands and they'll go back and forth and communicate with them. Even with the existing brands that I already have, like, they'll communicate with them and just really go from there. So I would recommend anybody who is looking to get into this or wanting to do this, just let it happen naturally. Focus on your content. Don't worry about followers, the brands, the outreach, any of that kind of stuff. Focus on your content first, and then just watch it grow from there. Like, you absolutely have this. Like, you got this. Don't give up. Don't think that just because it's not happening right now at this very moment that it'll never happen. It definitely will. And yeah, just stay focused. Just stay focused, and curate things that you love, talk about pieces that you love, brands that you love, align yourself with brands that you actually like and that you actually wear and that you actually love and would want to recommend. And that's really it. And I love, so that is it. I hope this video wasn't too long. I have a feeling it was, but I hope it wasn't too long. And I hope I answered some questions for you all. Like I said, I think I might be doing a Q&A every 6 months or so, but definitely let me know if there's any questions that you have that I didn't answer, or just any questions that you might have as well. So with that being said, I hope you all have a fabulous and wonderful weekend. Be safe. I love you, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye, loves.